The space economy is growing double digits every year. It's becoming very important for defense, for different applications, for commercial application, and for our applications every day to be used every day by citizens. But now, since we need to run, we need to be faster than the past years. We are just opening to 150 millions of fundraising.
Space is a very strategic industry. How is geopolitics affecting Argotec's business?
This is definitely something that's going to change. It's changing already our strategy, and already changed in the past couple of years our strategy, because whenever you're talking about space, you're always talking about dual applications, commercial and defense applications.
Space is back. Geopolitics and digitization have tremendously accelerated the development of the space economy. To put it in the words of the World Economic Forum, the space economy is going from niche to ubiquitous. Private space companies have become major sources of innovation, employment, and growth. Argotec is one of them. The company dedicates to the designing, manufacturing, and testing of satellites, and is based out of Turin, Italy. Its CEO, Avino, is with us today. David, space has typically been a very strategic industry, and it's even more strategic nowadays in the current geopolitical context. Europe has big ambitions to achieve a level of strategic autonomy in all things related to the space economy and in accessing space data and space services. What are the chances you view for Europe to be successful?
First of all, as you told before, the space economy is growing double digits every year. It's becoming very important for defense, for different applications, for commercial application, and for our applications every day to be used every day by citizens. Europe has an amazing capabilities of all the the capabilities we require in space, from launchers to satellites, modules. So everything can be done in Europe. From our perspective, it's very much important that, of course, Europe will keep on investing, because we need to gain more responsibility and independence also from other countries for semiconductors, from CPU, FPGA, and other applications. So they are very important for the space applications. And most of the time, maybe we need to go out of the European borders to get those kind of suppliers.
David, often when it comes to high value added technologies like space technologies, it hinges on two main factors: access to capital and access to talent. What can you say on the opportunities of accessing capital and talent from your vantage point, from your experience in Italy and in a broader European context?
We have been lucky right now, because we have been always, as Argotec, profitable since the beginning, with an economy that we try to invest all the profit into research and development, getting directly the money from our customers, or reinvesting again the profit into. So we are never being requested or required. It was never required to access the capital, the market capital. So we never went to the investors. But now, since we need to run, we need to be faster than the past years. We are just opening to 150 millions of fundraising in Europe. And I think this is going to be a good news also for our company and also for the European market, because we show to be a capable company, and at the same time we have a flight heritage. We have been flying different satellites already in space, also in deep space, and in different environments.
So, what is the profile of the investors you would be willing to engage with, and how are you planning to deploy that funding capital?
Initially, of course, there will be financial investors, so coming from private offices or family offices, or in general funds. And we are the target is to have a 100 millions plus 50 millions. 50 millions will be for M&A activities. 100 millions will be invested in technologies, and also for increasing the capabilities that right now we have in US, and also increasing capabilities are producing our satellites here in our premises at the space park in Torino in Italy.
So tell me a bit more. What is your train of thoughts when it comes to planning your international footprint and your international manufacturing bases?
First of all, when we started opening the new facilities in US, we avoided having Italians on the other side, just not because the Italians are not good, of course, but because the culture and the way of approaching the business market in US is completely different from what we think or what we are experiencing in Europe. And so we had all managers coming from long expertise in space business in the US. It's a market very open, I can say, because whenever you have a new technologies, the potential customers, so they are open to open their offices to come to their premises, showing your capabilities and your technologies. And most of the time, they're also open to maybe buy your technologies, having your technologies maybe integrated in theirs. So this is my experience in other markets as US. We also have different footprints in Europe, like in Germany. We opened last year an office also in UAE, in Dubai. And again, also in Dubai, you have to approach the market. The Middle East market is a completely different way from the way we approach in Europe, or maybe the way we approach in US.
And the way you go about this international expansion, I guess you want to be close or closer to final customers, like obviously in the US, a big space programs being developed there, but also space agencies popping up in different markets. And the UAE, I guess it's a case in point, is another country that has big ambitions with their new and fresh space programs. So are you looking for this kind of like space ambitions to chase possible clients?
Now, this is definitely this is a good point, because most of the time, the customers, they want to have you very close to that in order to exchange idea, to put in place their ideas in your products, and to be very close to their premises as well. So that's why finally we decided to invest in US, to invest in California as well. This is pretty new. We just opened another lab in California. We were before in Florida. And UAE, and also I can say Saudi, we're going to have the same approach, so to be very close to the final customers.
And today there are about 80 countries with space agencies, and a good part of those also have launching capabilities. To what extent your business may be constrained by the new geopolitical fault line that have emerged over the past couple of years?
This is definitely something that's going to change. It's changing already our strategy, and already changed in the past couple of years our strategy, because the geopolitical situation right now, we're talking about the wars are forcing our companies in general to work not only for commercial activities, but even more for governmental entities like defense, because whenever you're talking about space, whenever you're talking about the satellites, whenever you're talking about Earth observation, telecommunication, definitely you're hitting a really important interest from the defense applications. And so we are investing a lot to have defense applications ready to accomplish the needs of our potential customers of the defense. And on the other side, whenever you're talking about space, you're always talking about dual applications, commercial and defense applications.
So, what is Argotec today, and what is your direction of travel?
Definitely Argotec is a company with flight heritage, a company that shows the technology capabilities, because we have been working and flying in deep space. So it means 14 million kilometers above Earth. We've been working on the cislunar missions. We've been working on Earth observation, so in LEO, in 500 kilometers above the Earth. We've been working and showing our reliability. So what's going to happen in the future? Definitely, we want to grow. We're growing and double digits, I can say, every year. So we are doubling our revenues. We are doubling the number of roughly the number of people in our company. Now we are more than 300 people in our company. So next year we're going to be more than 500, and the same for the revenues and the profit as well. So this is the company. So I'm expecting in the near future as well to work for commercial activities, but even more, as I told you before, for defense applications, because this is what EU is asking right now, to gain more capability in-house to develop from scratch satellites, to deploy satellites, to process data, and to provide the final data to the final users. This is going to be Argotec in Europe, and at the same time, almost the same. It's going to happen in the US, and maybe as a second approach or second stage is going to happen also in Middle East.
Okay. And if you look at the industry as a whole, you mentioned defense. On the commercial side, communications has been traditionally the main driver of a business for anyone in the space economy. Looking forward, do you still expect communications to retain this leadership, or what other segments do you consider interesting and possibly generating new opportunities for companies like Argotec in the future?
Definitely for the next years, telecommunication is going to be the big possibilities of revenues, but at the same time, Earth observation is going to be very important for the future, because I'm not thinking about Earth observation for the usual applications that you can imagine, defense, military applications, but also for the prevention of disasters, natural disasters, but at the same time also integrating the Earth observation images together with the navigation. Just an example, whenever you wanna go to a restaurant, you're gonna put the indication on your GPS, on your navigation system. At the same time, you're gonna get the information maybe in your real time if there is a parking lot very close to the restaurants where you want to go. So this is going to be one of the applications in the near future.
David Avino, CEO of Argotec, thank you very much for being with us. Much appreciated.
Thank you for hosting me.
Thank you everyone for watching. If you're following us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, or else follow us on our website, fdiintelligence.com.